So this is a massive year for Matt LaFleur, who is going to be coaching his first season as coach of the Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers leading the charge. Rodgers, of course, in New York. Jordan Love is taking over for the Packers in 2023. But I want to sort of give my opinion on why I don't think Rodgers was the only reason that Matt LaFleur was successful in his first few seasons. We have to remember that when Matt LaFleur came in 2019 as the head coach, the Packers had just come off a 6-9-1 season where Mike McCarthy, who led the Packers to a Super Bowl back in the 2010 season, it was so bad that he got fired. So clearly things were not going well, and Rodgers was the quarterback of that team in 2018, played in all 16 games, and the Packers went 6-9-1. The following year, LaFleur comes in, he more than doubles the wins the Packers had in 2018, going from 6-9-1 in 2018 to 13-3 in 2019 as his first year as head coach with Aaron Rodgers. So clearly, Aaron Rodgers wasn't the sole factor in Matt LaFleur having success over these past few seasons. He's one of the best QBs all time, no doubt about that, but I think that Matt LaFleur's impact is maybe not seen by the masses as super impactful just because everyone says, well, he had Rodgers, of course he's going to be good. But Mike McCarthy had Rodgers in 2018 and things didn't go well. So clearly he was a big part of that turnaround in Green Bay. And if we look at Rodgers, 2 of Rodgers' 4 MVPs took place in only 4 years of Matt LaFleur as a coach, whereas Mike McCarthy, Rodgers had 2 MVPs in 11 years. And so if we look at Matt LaFleur, his accolades in his first 4 seasons as coach in Green Bay, 3 NFC North division titles, 2 NFC championship appearances. Of course, he didn't win. That would have been great if he won, but he still got to 2 NFC championships in his first 2 years as the head coach in Green Bay. And he has the 5th best winning percentage all time when it comes to coaches. So even if you would say that Rodgers is carrying LaFleur, which I don't think he was fully carrying LaFleur, partly, yes, anytime you have a quarterback of that kind of caliber, they're going to carry you in some way. And I think if you look at a guy like Andy Reid, now he's sort of seen as one of the best all time. I've even seen some debates on some shows as to, whether or not Andy Reid in the next few seasons, if the Chiefs keep playing as well as they have, win more Super Bowls, could Andy Reid potentially pass Bill Belichick as one of the, if not the greatest coaches of all time? And Andy Reid did not win his first Super Bowl until his 19th season in the NFL in 2019 with Patrick Mahomes. So he went 19 years without a Super Bowl. That's not to say he wasn't a solid coach early in his career. He definitely was. He was with the Eagles for a long time. From 2001 to 2003, went to 3 straight NFC championships, lost all of them, went to the Super Bowl the next year and lost that. So he was having success, but he didn't really get that Super Bowl till that point. And so I know that it's easy to say, well, LaFleur can't win in big games, but Andy Reid wasn't winning in big games and getting over that hump until he had one of the best throwers of the football, probably the best QB right now in Patrick Mahomes. So clearly, having a QB of that caliber greatly helps you, and it can take time to get that Super Bowl. And so I think that while LaFleur definitely was helped by Rodgers, I don't think that from what we saw from Matt LaFleur, I don't think that's solely a product of Rodgers, which gives me confidence going forward because I think that with Jordan Love here, we don't know how good he's going to be. I think he's going to be great. I believe in what he's going to be. I believe the Packers believe in him, which is why they moved off of Aaron Rodgers. But the fact that LaFleur was able to, have 3 straight 13-win seasons. Last year wasn't as great, but he was still leading this team to success. I think that it's going to be a big test for LaFleur with Love coming in his first year as starter, because if Love is great, then obviously that makes it easier for Matt LaFleur. If he's average, that's going to take a lot more from Matt LaFleur when it comes to, scheming up the offense and really being on point, because having an elite quarterback makes up for lots of different issues. And one other thing, there's one guy I'd say that LaFleur is really compared to a lot, and that's Kyle Shanahan, who is the coach of the 49ers, has been for 6 seasons now. And I feel like most people sort of, at least my take on it, sort of watching, media and people's opinions, it seems like people sort of see Shanahan as a better coach than Matt LaFleur. But if we look at the stats, as I said, Matt LaFleur has the 5th best winning percentage all time. He's only coached in 4 seasons, but he's won 71.2% of his games, 5th all time. Compare that to Kyle Shanahan, who is 76th all time in 6 years as a coach, not 2 more years than LaFleur, not too much more. He's won games 53.1% of the time. So LaFleur does have almost a 20% better win percentage in games. And of course, Shanahan has never had a quarterback of the caliber as a head coach as LaFleur has had with Aaron Rodgers. And so I would have guessed that, let's say that if for all those seasons, if Shanahan had Aaron Rodgers instead, I bet you he would have a similar win percentage to Matt LaFleur. And I think the greatness of Shanahan, when he's had, average quarterbacks, he's still been able to have success and get to NFC championships, get to the Super Bowl. He is a little bit better in the playoffs than Matt LaFleur. He's 6-3 to Matt LaFleur's 2-3. But still, Shanahan, his great thing is that he's taken average quarterback play and really, continue to have success with his team. And the question is, if Jordan Love is average, will Matt LaFleur be able to match that and still be able to find success and reach the playoffs and get far in the playoffs, even if Jordan Love is average? Because I think at that point, that's where the importance of Matt LaFleur is even greater. And so that'll be something to watch this season, next season, because the Packers do have a very young team, and it wouldn't be surprising if it took them some time to really mesh together and for these young receivers and tight ends to really start clicking. And I would say that if they had an average year in 2023, I would expect a much bigger jump in 2024 as these, newer players get more and more time in the system, get more and more time in the scheme. And so it's going to be interesting to see how LaFleur manages all of this, how he's able, how much he's able to get out of Jordan Love. And as I said, of course, it really comes down to how good your quarterback is. And if Jordan Love is great, the Packers will likely be great. If he's average, that's the question. Can LaFleur take an average quarterback and do what Kyle Shanahan has been able to do in San Francisco for the past 6 or so years? So we'll see. Just wanted to share my thoughts on that. I do think that LaFleur deserves lots of credit for the past 4 years, and I do believe he is going to continue the success here even with Jordan Love. I just think he's sort of shown that he has an ability to make things happen. So we'll see what happens there. Feel free to leave your comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to my Packers newsletter, I write there a good amount. You can subscribe in the description and the comment section down below. I wrote this actually similar topic to this earlier today, and so sometimes you'll get stuff quicker if you're subscribed to the newsletter over there. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.